whenever I have that feeling, that's a red alert to me because I'm alcoholic. So what's the first sign of untreated alcoholism? It's depression. Well, we're back after kind of a break, and then we had some technical difficulty when we recorded the last one with Chris.
Right.
And we got one more week till Thanksgiving. 1 week from today.
One more, yeah.
Yeah, so we got that countdown going. Thursday the 21st, number 27.
Okay.
There you go. There's some consistency.
Right.
Definitely imperfect.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you there.
Right. Anyway, we were talking about Foxhole friends, people you want in your foxhole. We can still do that if you like. And it's going to tell people they can adjust their volume now. Go ahead and turn it up. We kind of made some changes and see if they'll see what the changes are.
Yeah, absolutely. So, welcome, my brothers and sisters, to Two Old Goats. Let's get uncomfortable.
Let's do it.
So, foxholes. I think a lot of our listeners, they may have heard about them but there's some people out there that may not know what a foxhole is. And I think before we begin our talk, we should probably do some definitions.
There you go.
And why we're talking about it.
Right. So what's a foxhole and why would you have somebody else in there beside yourself? And how many people do you want in there?
Those are all great questions. Great questions. So I guess by definition, a foxhole is it's a defensive stance. Okay. It's a bunker. It's a hole in the ground that has sights around it so it can see whatever's they're trying to protect or defend their stand from. And as far as how many people, it's been my experience anywhere from 2 up to 4. Really, that's not too many people that I've ever been in a foxhole more than that. And it seems to coincide with what we're trying to express with is, those people that are going to be in your foxhole for life, or whatever your goals are, whatever you're trying to defend or go towards,
Right. I think that's the analogy he's using is that, who's advising us? Who do we go to for, advice, counsel? I hate to say motivation, but a kick in the butt. Somebody that's going to, not a yes person, someone who's going to tell us what we need to do or know or
Right.
Even if it's uncomfortable, especially if it's uncomfortable.
Well, a lot of it has to do with, they have to believe in you and what you're defending, right? And when I say what you're defending, we're talking about your dreams, your aspirations, your goals in life, things that you need to do, but you don't really want to do, It's all of those things that we need to have certain people. And you could have multiple foxholes because you could have multiple dreams and different avenues of your life. You could have, let's say you're talking about your physical. Well, let's talk about the 3 sides of the triangle. That's a good way to look at it because truthfully, everything boils down to those 3 sides. All in life, everything else is useless movement. And you don't need a freaking foxhole for that.
Right. Well, I agree. Well, different areas of your life, you're going to need different foxholes or different people.
Right. So, and those certain things in certain times, it could just be one other person. I know you and I were talking about, I saw that, it was on Instagram. It was about this guy. He goes, you only need 3 friends in your life. You need one that will hold you accountable, push you and make sure you see through with what your goals are. And then you have your confidant, which is the person that you can tell your deepest, darkest secrets to and and they'll guide you and, point you in the right direction to deal with those things. And then your third one, which is my favorite, is the ride or die guy. The one that when you say, "Hey, I think I made a mistake," and they're like, "All right, I'll grab the shovels," and who's driving,
Right. Whose car are we taking?
right?
Yeah.
So and I know you kind of disputed a little bit on that, but in a nutshell, that's kind of the same aspect of who you're going to have in your foxhole.
Right.
You know, you definitely don't need cheerleaders in your foxhole.
No, especially us. We're,
Right.
we're, we're our own cheerleaders.
Yeah, I'm good enough. I can hold those pom poms just as
Right.
well as the next person.
Yeah, my ego's it's way out. What's the term? I'm over my skis on my ego there.
There you go.
I don't need any cheerleading.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So yeah, so let's talk about that. Let's give some scenarios, like I don't know, talk to me about something going on in your life and the type of people that you're going to need in your foxhole.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I'm still with a lot of change. I had a lot of medical stuff that I'm still adjusted to, but I
Okay.
think I figured out a lot of it. The diet's been a big change over the past right June. Let's see, June, July, August, September, November, 6 months, 7 months,
Yeah.
and that's been helpful. But I just made the people I need around me right now are mentors in the program that don't let me just relax on my laurels, so to speak,
Okay.
or even at work. But I have a few mentors. One of my thing with mentors, and I guess which would be people you would have in your foxhole. Say it's a different term, I guess. One of the things I do is I have people in there, and they may or may not know that they're my mentor or that they're in my foxhole. And I do that on purpose because sometimes you got to rotate those people out.
Yeah.
And, it's someone will be there for a season, so to speak.
Okay.
It depends on what I'm going through, like you said. And,
Well,
right now I don't have anything big where I'm like, gather up the troops. Right now it's just, trying to maintain our core group of guys that we hang out with.
yeah.
That's changed a little bit recently. And, let's see what it's going to settle into.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I'm gonna call you out on your bullshit, Barry.
good. I appreciate it.
Okay. Because if you feel that you don't have much going on right now, you're already behind the scale.
Yeah.
You should always be rotating and moving foxholes and doing some things. And if you're sitting there saying, "Oh, not much going on right now," you ain't doing what you should be doing because there should be quite a bit going on.
All
Okay.
right. Talk to me.
So let's go back to the medical scare you had,
Yep.
and I want to see what you did, right? So we can give others examples of what to do or what not to do. And I'm not asking you for specific names, but so you had this medical scare, right? I'm not gonna. That's up to you if you want to share that live on whatever. But what kind of people did you have in your foxhole, and what was their purpose during that time period?
I went through a prostate cancer thing, and there's different types of treatment, and depending on your age and all that, your where you are in your life and stuff like that. So for me, I needed probably least invasive, but I needed it to be over with. I don't want it coming back, and so I needed people in my foxhole that would look at these doctors and stuff, because the way I do doctors is I talk to them face to face, and if I don't like them and I don't like their answers, I'm gone. And but I do need somebody. I had my daughter Taylor. She's real good about. She'll be online and she'll tell you what the guy had for breakfast and what club he's a member of and all this other kind of stuff. She does all that research, so that was helpful. And then just going through it, I stay. we were talking about having 3 or 4 people in our foxhole, and I probably do have, 2, sometimes 3. And I think it's probably, part of my bondage of self is I just don't have that. I don't let that many people in. And I'll have 1 or 2 people that kind of knows everything, or, and I think that comes from, the recovery program too, is I always need to have at least one person that knows everything about me,
Right.
again, and it's so that people can call me on my bullshit. So that's the thing. But, I had a couple of guys in the program that I was talking to, and I'll tell you what was important that I didn't think about. And we kind of talked about it on the podcast we had trouble with that we had to throw away. But new guys, I was working with a couple of new guys, and we were making the trip out to the Orchard Recovery Center out there, working with new people. And, that can really take your spirits up whenever you sit down and work with a new guy. And it also takes your mind off yourself.
Right.
So, which is our whole thing. And our whole, when we're, Dick Urban or Dick U the other night in the meeting said he was 80 something years old and he's living his best life.
Right.
And I think when I'm sitting down helping a new person or just helping somebody, it doesn't have to be in our program, but just helping somebody, that's when I'm living my best life, so to speak. But anyway, you knew what was going on. My wife was real involved. She stepped up, which is, a good thing. She usually does. She's probably, some people may think she doesn't get that involved, but if she does, it's just probably I get in the way, and I don't let her in sometimes. But she kind of grabbed the horns and said, I'm going to these appointments with you and stuff like that. Right. And so that's helpful. Those are the kind of the people who got me through that or helped me through that. Right. And I'm still working on it. I think one of the biggest things afterwards was, I don't know a better word for it. I was experiencing, complete lack of energy due to no testosterone, which we've talked about ad nauseum. But that, and I don't know another way to say it, but it felt like I would think I was experiencing depression.
Yeah.
And the thing with me coming from where I've come from to learn what I've learned, whenever I have that feeling, that's a red alert to me, because I'm alcoholic. So what's the first sign of untreated alcoholism? It's depression. So I have to, when that red flag goes up, I have to start asking myself, who are you talking to? Who's in your foxhole?
Yeah.
Are you communicating? Are you working with a newcomer? Are you in the book? I have to start asking myself those questions, because I give myself credit for my intentions, and I can be coasting along. And next thing you know, I hadn't talked to a new guy in 3 weeks.
Right.
And I can't, that doesn't work for me. So I would say, the main people are the people that are in my everyday life. You, my wife, my daughter, stuff like that. Okay. For that situation.
Right.
And I think the ongoing part of it, it's been somewhat. My wife is still, she can't get over the light thing. You need to be up and catch every sunrise and sunset because of the infrared light and
right,
all this kind of stuff, which is probably true, but I don't want to do that every day.
Right.
So, but then just the diet thing is the big. I mean, it's. I thought about it whenever I was going through that. I'm checking off my boxes. Yes, I'm talking to people that I need to be talking to every day. I'm talking to my mentors. Somebody knows exactly what's going on with me. All that stuff. But now what's the program of action? What I got to do? And the only thing that I had any control of is what I was taking in my body.
Yeah.
And that was the food. And I had to change that, because what I was doing, I don't know. I didn't know if it was going to work or not, but what I was doing wasn't working. So it was to the point where you just start trying stuff that makes sense.
You
So
mean you finally had to submit, Barry?
yes, well, and that's the thing. Whenever we start inviting people into our lives or our foxhole, I've been using this term lately: surrender to the we.
There you go.
I have to surrender to the we part of this life. You know, none of us are designed to live this life alone.
Right.
I mean, whether you have, you know, addiction problems or whatever isms we got, everybody's got them. Whether you hoard or do whatever you do, but we're not designed to be alone by ourselves.
Right.
So I think the foxhole thing is important and identify the closest people to you.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what I was talking about last night. It's not the part that we get mixed up on is because we do live a life of servitude, right? We want to help as many people as possible, either through messages or through actions, being the example, whatever it may be. We're in people's foxholes and we don't know, you know. But the truth is where the true fulfillment that I feel is when you allow others to help you. That's where we miss a lot. It maybe right when you have your good old fashioned ass whooping where you're ready to submit to the we, and you allow somebody else right to help you and guide you, and you have all these people telling you what to do, where to go, how to do it, right? And then all of a sudden you get your feet underneath you, and now you're like, I got it from here. Now I'm gonna go help everybody else out. I don't need help anymore. And right away, that's when that's our relapse. We're going back to our old way of thinking that now that I got it.
Yeah.
You,
Oh yeah, yeah, I agree.
it took me a while. It took me to bust both my hands to get it that you know what you you're doing too much. You're not allowing anyone else to be the helper,
Mhm.
and that's essential, especially in this foxhole thing. You know.
Yeah.
Okay. So the foxhole is about allowing others to help you because essentially when you're in that foxhole, you have your line of sight, the things that you're trying to focus on, your action, right? While the others have your back. They're watching the other avenues and they're telling you, hey, here, this is what's coming up. You have to allow them to help you because if not, then why do you have so many people in your foxhole if you're not willing to listen to them and do the things that they're guiding you to? When I started training for triathlons, I thought I had it and stuff, but finally somebody suggested that hey, maybe you should get an expert in triathlons to teach you about them. I had no idea. I just brute force. I'll go figure it out myself. And then all of a sudden, I learned so much new things, and I allow someone else to tell me what to eat, how to run, how to breathe, how to walk. I mean, it was very transformative for me.
Mhm.
But my ego keeps getting in the way, and it's not my intentions. My intentions aren't to block out the sunshine of the spirit, which is allowing others to be of service to help me, right? That's not my intentions, but I do have an ego that I feel that I should be the one to help them, that I was put in their life for me to help them. And it's not always that case. And, well, I mean, there's people that are going to be in your foxhole that you can't help, you know,
Right.
and their only purpose in that foxhole is to guide you, is to hold you accountable, whatever it may be. And those type of people, what I'm talking about is the people that don't know that they're in your foxhole. We're talking about the Casey Means, the Joe Rogans, the David Goggins, the Jocko Willinks, the Doctor was it Jack Cruz?
Well, your new one is Jason Fung.
My new one, yeah, I got it right here. The Obesity Code.
Oh, hold it up higher. We can't see it.
You
There
see
you
it?
go.
That's the new
What
one.
does it say? Unclogging.
Unlocking the secrets of weight loss.
Okay.
He figured out the key. And I didn't know this. The book was written back in 2016.
Yeah. He was the first guy that started talking about fasting.
We could have been skinny this whole time, Barry.
I know it. Who knew?
Okay. So, so the foxhole, we know the definition is it's a standing position to protect, to defend our goals, whatever it is, right? Our families, and we it's important that we have people in there that aren't going to pat us on our butts and constantly say how great of a person we are. We need someone to tell us to stand the F up and start doing something different.
Right. Well, I agree.
So I don't know what else you got on that.
A whole lot. I mean, it's not it's not a huge topic. I think it's just you gotta. It's one of those things where you have to do it to figure out what's going to work for you. You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
who are you going to listen to? Who are you not going to listen to? I was talking to a guy the other day. Actually, rode to the meeting with me and stuff like that, and we were talking about. He's talking about, oh, I need to get a sponsor, and well, yeah, no shit. And he starts mentioning it. I was like, no, stop, stop, stop. You know, you're picking people you think you're going to get along with and stuff like that, and that's not what you need. You know, sometimes I need people in my foxhole that I will do what they say.
Right.
You know, especially when I'm in a position where I don't know I've never done this successfully, and maybe somebody else has. So I'm going to lean on their experience. You know, there's times where I need to just shut up and do what they say.
Right. Exactly.
So,
Well, I'm gonna go on this journey here because so some of you guys know I've been battling this diabetes thing for a while now, and I've been sugar free for 45 days. I do feel a lot different. I've lost, about 14, 15 pounds. A lot of things are going great. My blood sugar's still high. And, I was looking up and my new best friend, ChatGPT, been talking to her. I don't know if you guys know that, but ChatGPT prefers to be a female. She told me that ultimately I'm going to have to reset my cells. There could be some underlying things with my liver or whatever it is, but ultimately to truly find out is I have to reset my cells. And that's when she suggested this book called The Obesity Code that, you could be losing weight and you could be eating right and your blood sugar still be super high. And because everybody's a little bit different, but you have to get to your basic foundation of eating and dieting and fasting and all that stuff to reset to truly start figuring things out. Because the problem is you go to a modern Western doctor, they're not going to look at anything else other than medications because their job's not to truly fix the problem. Their job is to save your life at that moment. So they're going to give you metformin, they're going to give you insulin, they're going to give you whatever drug is attached to their book, and I don't want to live that way. So ChatGPT offered this book to me, and I did a review on it, and I read a few other articles online, and so my foxhole, my defense, what I'm going to be defending over the next 90 days or longer is my diabetes. I'm going to get rid of those. I'm going to prove that it is curable. And so the first person in my foxhole is going to be Dr. Jason Fung and the Obesity Code. So that's going to be my guide. Okay. Then I'm gonna invite my wife in. She's going to be the one that's going to hold me accountable on food. Making sure that I'm logging down the proteins that I'm eating and the carbs that I'm eating. And so she's going to be that person. And then I'm looking for someone to be my ride and die guy, that's going to go with me shoulder to shoulder and put this thing into practice and see if it really works with, not just the obesity side, but the diabetes side.
Yeah.
So, you know anybody that wants to go on that ride with me, Barry?
Do they have to have diabetes?
No, you don't have to have diabetes because this is more about, this book is specific about obesity, not diabetes, but
Right.
obesity most of the time coincides with diabetes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
All right. I'll check it out with you. We'll see.
okay, cool.
Crazy about fasting, but we'll see. I know he's the fasting guy, so.
He is a fasting group. The best thing about it, Barry, is if you do the fasting, he promises you ain't gonna die.
Yeah. Well, you don't die right then.
He said the only thing that you just feel a little uncomfortable. You have more of a
Oh
mental
yeah.
session than anything.
Right. Yeah. No biggie. I've been that. We've done it before, not consistently over periods of time.
Yeah, well, I think that's what this is alluding to, is more on a consistent basis,
Right.
doing the intermittent fasting, the 24, the 72 to the 120, more on a consistent basis. And
Yeah.
I'm interested in, seeing what my blood levels are going to be, or my sugar levels and my testosterone, and all of that. So,
That's a big one. Well, I mean, I just fell into the intermittent fasting. I mean,
right,
I eat right now. I'm eating once a day. Sometimes I'll eat I'll grab a snack or something, like a beef stick
right,
right before the meeting or something, and then I'll just eat dinner when I get. That's all I'm eating.
right,
So I mean, that's the intermittent fasting part. But that came from doing the carnivore and this. If you eat all protein, you're pretty satiated. You're not hungry a lot.
right.
So anyway, that's just something.
Yeah. Well, do you got something that you want to build a foxhole in, that you're practicing something in life that you want
No,
to do and share with anybody?
no, I don't want to.
No, you don't want to do anything?
No, I need to think about it because it's probably time to look at that. I mean, my one of my defaults is, and uh, I don't know why it happens this way, but I haven't made it up back to the mountains to elk hunt,
Right.
and I need to do that. I want to do that. So last year I had the medical thing, and I don't know whatever the fuck the year before that. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that would probably I need to put that together. Let me think about it. I don't want to just throw it together on the fly just for the heck of it. But let me.
It might be better for you to just say, "All right, let's do it,"
Yeah.
because you're going to philosophize about it for months, and then next thing you know, it's going to be next July.
Right.
Crap, I did it again.
Yeah. It could be. Yeah, I'm probably thinking of some outside circumstances that I shouldn't be thinking about. But
All right. Well,
yeah.
when do you think you'll be able to get back to us and tell us that let's get some plans going and let's get a foxhole built and start moving forward on that?
Yeah, I'll have it here in a day or so. Yeah.
A day or so.
Absolutely.
So you're talking, today's Thursday, so you're talking
Yeah.
about Friday or Saturday?
Heck yes.
Okay, good. Because if there's ever a place where I can hold you accountable, it's on the World Wide Web, where there's millions of people out there watching you.
Right. Well, hopefully there'll be millions at some point. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, in my mind, there already are a million.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
You bet. But nah, what else? That's all I got really right now. Hadn't been in the mode lately for some reason. I don't know. I've been doing a lot of studying on some AA history and stuff, but maybe
okay.
that's what's kind of taking my time. I don't know.
Well, honestly, I think another thing that I want to add to this, talking about foxholes, people that listen to us on a regular basis and things like that, I want to invite them in on our conversations. If you guys have any, topics that you guys want to talk about, or just hear Barry and I talk about it, just, you can send us a little comment message and share it with us. Or if you want to be on the show, if you want to come on and start talking about some of the things that's going on in your life and the solutions or seeking a solution, whatever it may be, send us a message, get in contact with us. Let us know. We'd love to have you on the show, or at least talk about what you're, curious about.
Right. Or let us know where we're messing up.
No, I don't want that anymore.
You don't want to hear that?
No, I don't want to hear that anymore.
Okay. We can let it rest for a week or two.
I'm still working on the F word. I did good today. I didn't say it one time.
You've done great.
Yeah.
Better than me.
See, old dogs can change.
There you go.
Or no, is it old dogs learn new tricks?
New tricks.
There it is.
Very good.
I got a little secret tip here. This is fun. This is a riddle.
Just the tip?
Just the tip, all right? You're rebuilding a ship and you're replacing piece by piece. At what point in time does that ship become a different ship?
Yeah, that's what they do with old ships that they restore over long periods of time. Back in the day, the old wooden ships.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the time they changed all the boards, it could take years, but it would be a whole new ship.
And so that's the riddle, though.
Yeah.
At what point in time, at one piece of board, whatever, right? When does that ship actually become a different ship?
Yeah. Well, technically, when you replace the first board.
You think so?
Yeah, because it's like a stream. You can never step in a stream and step out, and then step back into the same stream.
All right.
Because it's always moving. It's always changing.
All right. Well, I'm gonna throw you for a looper. Are you ready, Barry?
Okay, I'm ready.
The ship is already different before you change one board.
It's already different?
Already different. The ship that you see today is not the same ship tomorrow.
Right.
It's not the same ship yesterday. You don't have to change a board. It's still a different ship. If you think about at a deeper level, nothing ever stays the same. No matter if you think you're changing it one board at a time or not. At a molecular structure, nothing's ever the same.
Right. So I should get credit for my river story.
You should, yes.
There you go. See, I get half credit.
So, yeah, I've been looking up, just deeper meaning riddles and things like that, and I read that one today, and Chat GPT gave me an answer, and I didn't like it, so I changed it up.
Right.
Because it said the same thing that you said about, well, I think once you change that first board, I was like, I think it changed before that.
Right.
I think it's always changing no matter what. No matter what you think you're doing, it's already changing, bud.
It is. Well, every day. Every day. So, absolutely. All right, bud.
Well, I look forward to hearing from you guys and hearing your comments and suggestions, and hopefully one of y'all can come on the show and hang out with us for a little bit. We'd love to have you.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Well, that's it. I guess I'll catch you next week.
All right, brother. Sounds good.
There. We'll go from there.
Yes, sir.
Y'all get out and get in the sun.
All right. Peace out, guys.
Peace out. See ya.
Bye.